And when I think about this boy, I think about my own kids. And I think every parent in America should be able to understand why it is absolutely imperative that we investigate every aspect of this. You know, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon.
Welcome back, everyone. That, of course, President Obama talking about the Trayvon Martin case, and we're joined by Reverend Richardson here. And Reverend, you were at the White House this week.
Yes.
I'm curious, did the conversation come up?
No. You know, it was an Easter breakfast. About 100 pastors from all faiths and diversity. And it mostly talked about hope. And you might could infer that this call for hope was a call to rise above the pain of these various circumstances that are grabbing the nation both from within and without. And so the president's comments were really about how to believe in the face of great trial, great challenges. I mean, he was inspirational. And he wasn't a preacher.
Yeah, but it could be.
Could be.
You know, the president got some heat for saying those comments, and some critics say, hey, listen, that's not the role of the president here. But I know a lot of folks, I was speaking with Dominic, he said that is his role. But there's some question that nobody's really taken this investigation by the throat and just let it. Do you think that the Justice Department has to take the lead at this point?
It's our hope that this prosecutor, we're believing that this prosecutor, this new prosecutor, is going to step out and bring some action before the grand jury does. That's our hope. I am not despaired that justice will not happen. It's delayed justice. But I do not believe that our current affair in America can tolerate this to go down the way it has gone down.
Now, I've said before, I think people are underestimating just how much anger this case has brought up in a lot of folks, not just in Florida. If what I think the three of us believe that some justice at least involves a conviction from the facts that we know, at least at this point, for Mr. Zimmerman, if there is no conviction and he never spends a night in jail, what then? I know you haven't ruled out civil disobedience. How angry will people be in this country, especially certain populations that have said enough's enough? I
think that part of what is asked for is the begin process, due process. That's what's partly asked for. Right now, there's not even that. I think that Americans will struggle with unless we find some information that we don't know now. There's going to be a great outrage and a disappointment in the system of justice.
So, Reverend, are you telling us tonight, as a major pastor, that you haven't ruled out civil disobedience?
Oh, absolutely not. No. That's not ruled out. Reverend Sharpton has articulated it and put it on the table. There have been some people in the city that have in Florida who have said they don't want civil disobedience, and I can understand that. They are connected to the powers that be in that little town, and so they're not free to. The chapter president of the NAACP said he wasn't for civil disobedience. You know, when Martin Luther King called for civil disobedience, there's often people who were overly invested in the status quo of that community who were opposed to it, so that doesn't stop us. Yes, civil disobedience is on the table.
You know, I only got a little time. I'm curious, guys. If Trayvon Martin didn't have such eloquent parents who kept pushing this issue, people forget, for weeks after this murder, this was a local story. This only became national when a producer heard about it in the CNN bureau down in the southeast, and then all of a sudden we know what's happened. But if it was a single mother who wasn't as articulate and as compassionate as those two parents, who's willing to do painful interview after painful interview, would we ever have heard the story, Trayvon Martin? Or do you think people would have cared as much?
I think it's helped put human face on the situation. I do believe that we could have gotten attention to the story. You know, Reverend Sharpton was one of the first persons called in and brought attention to the situation. It went on for a couple of weeks without anybody saying anything about it. So I think that it could have eventually gotten, if it was just a one parent, could have gotten some. This just happens to help us.
But do you worry it might have been swept under the rug?
Not now.
Not now.
I don't believe that's.
And I know Richard's out of time here, but you've been to the White House a number of times. How do you, as a prominent African-American leader, how do you assess the election? If Mr. Romney is the Republican nominee, how do you see it going up? I know you favor President Obama, but how do you see it?
You can't help talking politics here. I was going to keep this thing. You go ahead. Even on Good Friday, he's going to find out about the election. Go ahead.
Let me simply say that those of us who support the president must not take anything for granted. There's too much at stake. And I believe that when America makes the decision on the next president, they'll decide on Mr. Obama. Because Mr. Obama has decided on America and not decided to exclude Americans from the table.
Sounds like something we could put on bumper sticker. He's getting his political talking points. He was paying attention this Wednesday. Reverend Richardson, thank you very much. Hey, and have a great Easter. I know you got a big weekend ahead of you.